I have to see this movie again
Again.
because it is a lot. It's 2 hours. It moves fast, and there is a lot in it. I love it, but I just want to make sure I'm not using recency here, and I also want to digest the movie again because for me, it's going to require multiple viewings. But I will answer that question. I just can't. There's no way I can answer that now because also I have to rewatch Man of Steel. It's been a little while, so.
Does it move faster than a speeding bullet? Like, would you say that's the pacing?
Nicely done. Good morning, welcome to Nerdy and Nice, everybody. We hope you had a good weekend, and we are here, as always, to kill those Monday blues and put you in a good mood to set your week off in the right direction. I'm John. With me, as always, is Lacey. We are here to talk about a lot of cool stories. Obviously, Superman. I'm going to give a brief, non-spoiler review later in the show, but check out our YouTube channel for my spoiler review of Superman with all the details, all the cameos, all the things on youtube.com/@TRBpodcasts. With me, as always, Lacey Gilleran. And Lacey, what do you make of this rumor? Because I'm thinking in my brain, like, can a Barbie movie get more attractive or full of talent? Because Sydney Sweeny was asked if she would be down to appear if they made a Barbie 2, and she had an interesting response. What'd she say? Do you know?
According to your notes, she said, quote, I'd have to read a script, but I'm a huge fan of Margot Robbie, so I would not be opposed to it. Which is a very diplomatic
but you did
answer. Well, that's what you put in there. I wanted to give you credit. You did the work. That's what she said, according to the interview.
Control V. What are your thoughts on that? I assume a Barbie 2 will happen at some point, but would you be down with some Sweens?
I'm pretty sure someone already plays Barbie's sister in the Skipper in the first movie. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone that looks like Margot Robbie played her sister. But they didn't really talk about it a lot. Because I noticed you also said, would you be down to play Barbie's sister? I think she's just being diplomatic about this. Honestly, my brain immediately went to Glenn Powell because, they're friends. That he's very much like, well, I'd have to read the script. It's such a good answer because it doesn't say yes or no. Like, of course, like fan casting, it would be like, look, I'm not saying anything. I just need to read a script first, because if it's not there, I don't want to do it. Which already they're talking about making like a Barbie cinematic universe, which I don't think was the initial plan with Barbie. It was just going to be a one and done movie. I mean, I'd be down. She's okay. She's fine. She's a good actor.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm assuming they're asking this because she's blonde, but she's been all different types of hair colors, so anybody can be blonde.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Why? What do you think?
We'll see what. I mean, she's just a huge talent in the industry, and I support her career. We watch it with great interest. But
my God.
We have a lot of stuff to get into, a lot of cool stories. So why don't we kick things off with what's happening?
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Enough, I get the point.
Ridiculous. Gave no answer to that question. All right. So as we assumed, coming out of this past super week of the Superman premiere, a lot of up in the air Superman related news. What is this saying? There, like a bird, like a plane, up in the
yeah, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yep, that one. So we're starting off at the top with some Superman stuff. So first of all, it's getting rave reviews. It's done great at the box office. And reactions so far have been very positive. Naturally, there's been some division between Zack Snyder fans who are like, no, that's not my Superman. Which everything can just exist. It doesn't have to be one or the other, which we often say this on TRB with Star Wars projects and books and media and TV shows and movies. Like, it's not a one-to-one. You don't have to compare them. They could just both exist.
Right.
And a clip had come out from Rick and Morty of Zack Snyder and James Gunn playing themselves as like a jokey thing that people have been using to add to the fight. I did watch the clip. I was like, oh, that's funny. That's comical. He's got like the protein powder on his tray and he's got the big guns, and James Gunn's being his like kind of like anxiety ridden self. So yeah, it was comical. I think people take everything so seriously nowadays. But yes. So what are your thoughts about the review? Are you surprised? I'm not. I'm not surprised. I have seen some people say that there's just a lot that they shoved into the movie. That was like the one critique I saw. But other than that, people said it was hopeful, it was fun, it looked great, and David is awesome.
Yes. I mean, it'd probably be silly if I didn't just give my brief thoughts now as opposed to later.
You might as well. It seems a little silly to be like, but just wait 30 minutes.
So basically just going by what I posted on social media about it. I mean, I loved Superman. I thought Corn Sweat was perfect. I thought the supporting cast was great. Rachel Brosnahan was a very good Lois. The Justice Gang was a highlight for me. I thought they were the funniest part of the movie. Nathan Fillion and what was the standout? Like, he made me laugh a lot. And I thought Nicholas Hoult, who tried out for Superman, didn't get it for good reason. I thought he was a really good Lex Luthor. The movie gives a strong message of hope, faith in humanity, and it's about who you are more than what you are. And he leans heavily into the fantastical side of things, and it allows incredible action sequences, storytelling devices, and it really like vanquishes and like snuffs out that weird thing that's been happening lately where we need our comic book movies to feel like it could actually happen in our world. And there's just so many like supernatural, fantastical, cosmic elements here that James Gunn just gets rid of that. And I think that's so key for this version of Superman and DC. And we should have expected that from James Gunn after seeing like Guardians and stuff. But my only issues, I had two. Superman gets his ass kicked way too much in this movie.
Oh, does he? So it's kind of like
James
Bond 1 where he just gets beat up all the time.
Kind of. And it usually takes me a few rounds for a movie to really pick up on the score. There weren't massive standouts, and it's hard to live up to a John Williams Superman score. So it's a little nitpick, but this affirms that DC's in great hands. This was the DC's Iron Man, and Iron Man was really well received, and so was Superman. It has the critics loving it, audiences are loving it, and it's aiming for. I mean, the numbers are probably out now, but it was shooting for a 250 to 300 global opening weekend, so hopefully it's in that range. Which is all a good sign for the future of DC. And then as far as this clip, I mean, I think that's really cool that the both of them did that.
They're clearly friendly. All these people are friends. That's what people don't understand. Like, there's no bad blood here.
Right. And yeah, it's a lot of just online nonsense. And the movie even addresses that type of stuff in a weird way without getting into details. Not in a meta way, but in like just the way the world works in terms of the internet and stuff. But
that's the world works now, yeah.
I like seeing Zack Snyder and James Gunn coming together to have a little fun, to maybe douse some of those flames that people think are happening between them. I mean, if you think James Gunn is that insecure or he's trying to stick it to Zack Snyder, that's obviously out the window. But also, just look at what's happening right now with DC. Matt Reeves is still making this dark, brooding Batman, and James Gunn is still going to have his own Batman. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, things can exist; they don't have to be
James
compared.
Gunn is the boss of the Batman too, and he's letting that happen. So it's like people just need to use their noodle a little bit and understand that we can have multiple versions, especially of a comic book character. Superman's been around for 100 years, and there's been so many iterations in the comics, different canons, different universes, different versions, clones, all this crazy stuff. To think that we can have a world where there's the Man of Steel version of Superman, which you and everyone knows I love very much. It was almost in my top 10 movies of the 21st century. And I also love this Superman. And I think there's a lot more of us than there are people saying, like, it's Snyder or bust, or thank God James Gunn made Superman Superman and not, this dark thing. So I like all of this, and I'm really happy and rooting for Superman. But then also what is potentially hinted about the future of the rest of DC.
Before we get there, though, even though this goes against everything I've just said, as a Superman fan, your personal opinion, which one did you like better?
Oh, which movie?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because I think people want to know. Like, as a Superman fan, and you love Man of Steel, which one do you prefer?
I don't know if I can say that yet, and that's a cop-out. I will answer that eventually. I have to see this movie again. Because it is a lot. It's 2 hours. It moves fast, and there is a lot in it. I love it, but I just want to make sure I'm not using recency here, and I also want to digest the movie again because for me, it's going to require multiple viewings. But I will answer that question. I just can't. There's no way I can answer that now because also I have to rewatch Man of Steel. It's been a little while, so.
Does it move faster than a speeding bullet? Like, would you say that's the pacing?
Nicely done.
Audio people are like, huh? I'm looking at the camera. You can't see me. Go watch on YouTube.
Guns.
Yeah. On that similar thread, James Gunn keeping it moving because people are loving this movie so far. He says don't expect story retellings. He's not doing that. You guys know the characters. He's just going to tell the stories that are already that he wants to tell. You know how these characters came about, especially if you're a fan. Why does he have to re-show you over and over and over again? We've seen those so many times. So are you cool with this, John, that we move forward, we stop retelling the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, I think the origin story thing was really cool, and it didn't it's the first Superman obviously gave us that, and it was this really in-depth thing. It shows him on Krypton as a baby, all that stuff. I'm talking about the Christopher Reeve Superman. Then we got Michael Keaton and Tim Burton's Batman, which didn't do that, but they flash back to it a little bit. And then it seemed when the comic book movies came back in, I would say 2000 with X-Men, they went back to doing that. They're like, how did these people become, the X-Men and stuff? And here's Rogue.
How many times are we going to see Bruce Wayne's parents die, though?
That's the thing. And he brings up, like, you're not going to see the pearls in the back alley of the theater in my Batman movie. I'll just say this, Lacey, I like it. That was one of the parts of this Superman movie that I really loved is we get thrust right into it, and everyone knows who Superman is. He's been around for a while, and it was refreshing to me. So I really enjoyed that, and if that's what they're doing with Batman and these other characters, he may dip with some of them that are less familiar, but these classic images that we have of Bruce's parents getting shot behind the Monarch Theater, her pearls falling to the ground, Superman crashing as a baby, and the Kents finding him. We have all heard and seen so many iterations of that story. Smart choice by James Gunn. It allows him to use his time on screen to propel his story forward versus holding our hand saying, remember this, remember that, remember this. Now I'm going to tell my story. Otherwise, you're looking at a 2 hour and 40-minute movie if he wasn't going to cut what he gave us. So great decision all around. Like I've been saying, James Gunn, finger on the pulse. The guy knows what he's doing, and so far, so good.
I'm excited to eventually see this movie. I haven't seen it yet. But
I'm down to go again. So
okay,
maybe
get a pizza.
All right,
because I owe you one.
But I'll say this: our local AMC theater, what a nightmare that place is. So we
Is it a
gotta find
dump?
somewhere else to go. It is a
Oh
dump now.
no!
They ran out of popcorn. They ran out of popcorn at a multiplex.
I'm sorry. What? They ran out of popcorn?
Yeah, they put a sign up. I'm in line to get popcorn. Guy comes over with a piece of paper that he printed with Arial font with a piece of blue tape that said, "We apologize. We have run out of popcorn." So,
How? That's all they sell is popcorn.
they were also understaffed. I had a guy who's like high on meth behind me in the line. It was just Lacey, when I tell you, and I'm there with my son and my wife, so I'm pushing them in front of me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm because I'm Superman.
You're
I'm
trying to be the
guy.
buffer. You're trying to be a buffer. Yeah.
I'm Kal-El in that situation.
I think
So,
there's a nice theater, small theater here local to me, and there's one that's close by too. That's really nice. So we'll go to one of those.
yeah, and there's one near me that's like an old school theater. There's one a few towns over that's nice. So yeah, we'll have to figure it out. But for that screening, that early
Oh my
screening,
gosh.
the Amazon Prime thing that I got the tickets for, had to be at that theater. And
I'm sorry. Was it
boy,
an early screening and they still ran out of popcorn?
7 p.m.
Oh, that's insane to me.
Yeah, and they ran out of bottles of water, so they only had the giant bottles of water.
Oh my
They forgot to
gosh.
turn the lights down until 10 minutes into the movie. They forgot to turn the lights back on after the movie, so everyone's walking around in the dark theater.
What is going on?
Abysmal. I did not realize that because the last time I went was with you for Deadpool and Wolverine, and granted, it was an early, part of the day, wasn't busy.
I think it was a weekend too.
Yeah, I didn't recall it being that bad. It always sort of has had a rundown.
It was very ghost town.
Yeah.
It didn't used to look like that though.
It's in bad shape. So I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know.
I have a couple we could go to that are nicer.
AMC theaters though. If for any of our listeners who go to AMC theaters, I hope your AMC theater isn't like the one near us.
Nicer.
So,
yeah. You were saying something and now I have lost my train of thought of
I'm sorry.
my witty transition into this next story. Oh, I got it again. I remembered. You kept saying that James Gunn isn't saying, "Hey, remember this, remember that." Well, this next franchise is, which is Jurassic World.
Whew.
But at the same time, it works for them. They're unstoppable. As of time of recording, Jurassic World Rebirth, which has not been loved so far, still made $322.5 million worldwide, $147.8 million domestically, US and Canada. So that's $174.7 million internationally, according to Deadline. So these things, regardless of being good movies, bad movies, Glenn Powell turning away, Jennifer Lawrence saying, "Nah, I'm good," they're making money. People love dinosaurs. They like being a little scared. But yeah, man, people did not like this movie. I saw John Roca's quick review of it saying that like as soon as that mutant thing shows up, he's like, I couldn't wait to get the F out of this theater, basically.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Yeah, he did not like it. I'm not surprised. I don't know what's going on with Scarlett Johansson, but she seems like she's taking every single role that gets thrown at her if there's money involved. She's like, I will do it. Sure. Tower of Terror, I'm in. Jurassic World, I'm in. Black Widow again, sure.
Did you see she's now the highest grossing actor ever?
Is she?
Yeah. But you know what's kind of crazy about that? And
because she's in Avengers and Jurassic Park.
I like Scarlett Johansson a lot, but she's not the lead in
any of these.
I think any of these movies except this new Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow didn't make money.
And again, they're not going for her. They're going for the dinosaurs. Like if you were to ask someone, "Hey, why are you going to this movie?" They're like, "To see dinosaurs."
Yeah, and I like Scarlett Johansson a lot. She seems like a nice person. She's a good actress. She's beautiful. She's been around for a long time now. So no disrespect, but here is reading a headline: Scarlett Johansson is the highest grossing actor ever. It's kind of crazy because they should adjust that to lead roles versus your one part of 40 people on a Marvel cast.
Yeah, she doesn't really do the indie stuff. She does the big big money stuff. Like Zoe Saldana only does the big money stuff too.
Yeah, because does that mean like Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, is one of the highest grossing actors of all time because he's in all these freaking movies?
Yeah, he's like a sad guy. I don't know, but I'm not surprised it made money. People love the dinosaur movies. I saw someone online talking about how of all the movies they've been to recently, it was a critic. This one had like little kids going to it with dinosaur plushies and dinosaur figures, and which, first of all, why would you bring your kids to this? That's terrifying. But second of all, like your family, your choice. But a lot of families were going to this.
Yeah, I'm not taking my kid to this one.
Yeah, no. But I mean, okay. I'll see this probably when it's on streaming. I'm not going to the theater to see it, but it's not surprising it keeps making money, which means Universal is just going to keep making dinosaur movies.
Yeah,
keep regurgitating, keep saying, remember this? Hey, remember that thing that happened? Oh yeah, we got you right here. Remember how scary that was? We're going to scare you again.
and Gareth Edwards is good. He like, obviously we know he is great at these big spectacle movies from a visual perspective. Godzilla, Rogue One, and there's a lot of this movie that looks really good. Like that T-Rex scene looks really, really good. I want to see that scene.
With the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to see that. So it's not that. It's just that the first Jurassic Park was so great that even Spielberg came back to do a sequel, which he doesn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from Indiana Jones, of course, because that's George. He'll do anything for George. But I feel like they've been chasing the magic of the first one forever, and they keep getting to do it because they keep making so much money. So Frank Marshall's just like, yep.
Sure.
Oh, you have an idea for a dress? Yeah, I don't care what it is. Do it. Yep, let's go.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah, get someone who could direct, and let's roll. And, you know, Glenn Powell doesn't want to do it? Fine. We'll bring in this other dude. Jennifer Lawrence doesn't want to do it? Fine. We'll bring in Scarlett Johansson because she's the highest grossing actor ever.
Mm-hmm. And she's blonde and looks like Jennifer Lawrence a little bit.
Yeah, but we're gonna. I don't know when we're gonna stop seeing these. I'm just curious how long, because it was Jurassic Park for 3, and now it's been Jurassic World for 4. So is it Jurassic World now forever? I liked it better when it was Jurassic Park.
I think it is because they're saying that the dinosaurs are out of the park.
Yeah. Okay. So we're
what just happened?
We're 7 movies in.
Yes.
Yes. So the 8th movie, it's going to be history repeating itself, and a giant asteroid's going to hit the Earth, and everything's going to get wiped out again.
Ridiculous. That was what that big... Oh, God, it was.
It'll end with like a little glimmer of Earth coming back to life, and then it'll start over. They'll reboot it because an asteroid killed everything on Earth, including this franchise, and then they can say like, well, that's not ridiculous because check your history books. That's happened before 65 million years ago. So now they'll flash forward 65 million years or whatever, and we got another bang going on, and then we reset, and that's how they restart and reboot Jurassic World. Asteroid hit in Jurassic World, the 8th movie of the franchise. It'll be Jurassic World 5. Giant asteroid coming back. Also, people are nostalgic for asteroids. Armageddon, Deep Impact. It's been a long time. People want to see asteroids. They want it all to end, and that's what's going to happen in the next Jurassic World. What
they should show is that Bruce Willis is on the asteroid as it comes to Earth. Like really just crossover of the century. As you were explaining that, all I heard in my head was that Jurassic Park theme song with the recorder where it's like
that's better than the single piano note though. Bing bong bing. Come see Jurassic World. Bing,
that was one of the best social videos to come out recently. It's like a guy at a piano and he's like every big movie now, and it's like the Star Wars like
yes. They got to stop that.
Well, that got a little bananas. Speaking of bananas,
Oh my
the
god.
cast list for Street Fighter is I don't even know what to say because I didn't see this until just now. 50 Cent is Balrog. Andrew Koji is Ryu. Orville Peck is Vega. Cody Rhodes is Gil.
Guile.
Guile. I don't know Street Fighter very well. Noah Centineo. Oh, he's from what's that movie that was on Netflix? All the Boys I've Kissed Before. It's like a little YA rom-com. He's the main person. Jason Momoa's in it. Yeah, it's a lot of people. I can proudly say that I met 50 Cent once, and it was insane and crazy. So every time I see him, I'm like, I met that guy once. I had to interview him for the school paper.
How'd it go?
It was very insane. I won an award for this article, actually. So the place I went to
Pulitzer?
school, no, like a media award of the department. So I was in charge of the headline and then the article, which was an interview. And I remember I was sitting in the class and they were like, so 50 Cent's coming. Who wants to do the interview? And everyone was just sitting there and I was like, I'll do it. And everyone was like, okay. So then I go up there and I go up to the head of the student activities and I say, hey, I'm here from the paper. I'm here to interview him. She goes, oh yeah, he doesn't know he's doing an interview, but like you can just stand right here and try to grab him. And I was like, I'm sorry. She was like, yeah, just try to get his attention. And I was like, okay. So naturally, he runs with quite the entourage with many big bodyguards. So he comes off the stage and I'm like, interview for the school paper as he's walking by. And he like stops and turns around. And he goes, what? And I was like, interview for the school paper? And he's just like, sure, come on. And his guy grabs me and puts me in the center of his entourage as we're walking down the stairs to go into the locker rooms.
Lord.
So I'm just standing there and I'm asking me these questions. He's like, okay, what you got? And so he's asking me these questions and he put his arm around me and he could tell that I was nervous. So like he took his arm off me and was like, no worries, go ask your questions, whatever. He was very nice. And so at the very end, I was like, so looking back on your career so far, is there anything that you do differently? And he goes, yeah, I'd go back and sell crack the right way. And his manager just smacks him. And she goes, you can't say that. Don't write that. And I was like, okay, I won't write that. I'm leaving. Goodbye. And I just remember his locker room. They had like, they put up curtains to make it look nicer than a college. But on his like craft table was all his vitamin waters, you know, the X ones that he made. That's all he had.
Oh, jeez.
But he was very nice. But the best part was, you know, I'm like, I think I was like 19 when I wrote this article, 19 or 20. And so my headline, yes. The gym was called the Pitt Center, named after this guy, like William H. Pitt. And so my headline was out of the club into the pit.
Oh no. Wow. Dude,
and I won an award. Is it on the internet? It might be on the internet.
Out of the club into the pit.
I'll never forget. I was also in charge of writing the article about Chris Brown beating up Rihanna.
Oh my goodness. That
was also like, because I like covered like pop culture in the newspaper. And so it was like the front story that they put out. And my headline for that one was like, what did she said? He said something. She said Disturbia. Something like it was so bad. Well, so bad.
At least you revealed breaking scoop that what his real answer was about his career. So now that's out there on Nerdy and Nice.
He was joking. He was clear. He started laughing. He said it seriously at first until I was like, and then he just burst out laughing. Like he clearly was joking around. He was very, very kind. Crack. He was very kind, giving with his time. I couldn't believe how much time he was giving me to like answer stupid questions like, what's your favorite color? What song is on your iPod?
why don't we do a strong push to get to the Street Fighter premiere so we can do round 2?
Oh my God, could you imagine? Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. 50 Cent, remember
Mr.
me
50.
from 2008?
Yeah.
I pulled you aside in the William H. Pitt Center.
You're like, 50, you don't even say hi. You just walk up to him and go, 50, a quick follow-up question.
Same notepad.
Yeah. Did you end up selling crack again? No, but yeah,
I don't want to get sued. He was joking.
Yeah.
He was kidding around. He was kidding.
Yeah. Well,
but anyway, good for him.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. So if Nerdy and Nice gets popular and famous because you call 50 Cent a crack dealer,
50, come on the show. Answer some good questions. I promise I've gotten better since I was 20 years old.
But yeah, this cast, there's two popular professional wrestlers, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, who's related to The Rock.
Oh, Roman Reigns. Yes.
Andrew Schultz, the comedian, is playing Dan Hibicki, who I'm not that familiar with. But then you have like a really good actor like David Dalsmashian, who's playing Bison. So it's like, I don't know what is happening with this movie. And I love Jason Momoa. It's just, this cast is such it's almost like a more popular cast of like an MTV Surreal Life, where it's just like these random people of pop culture together in this movie.
I liked the Mortal Kombat they did recently. That one caught me off guard, which was, everyone was like, they're making this movie. I was like, oh, this is going to be so stupid. I watched it. It was really good. And I think they're making a second one, or they already did. I can't remember. But it was really good. And I was surprised at how good it was. So I could see them going to video games, especially with The Last of Us being so popular now with Pedro Pascal and everybody, that they're looking to video games to tell these stories that, you know, the last time they touched them was like, what, the 90s with Street Fighter? I know Mortal Kombat was 90s.
Yeah, it was. I mean, wait, I think Tim Curry was in like Street Fighter, and like Jean-Claude Van Damme was
so much. Tim Curry's one of those actors who's absolutely brilliant, but said no to nothing. Like, he never said no. Muppet Treasure Island, yes. Home Alone, yes. You know, like just anything he says yes to, including this game that Matt would play. It was like this world building kind of war game that he played. And he was one of the generals that would come on the screen and say lines during this game.
Oh, yeah.
He would say, the premier is gone, in like a Russian accent in this game. And Matt would play with the sound on, and it would drive me nuts. But that's what I think of now when I hear Tim Curry's voice, because it just was so over the top.
Wrong. I mix these guys up sometimes, not by name, but by face. Raul Julia played Bison. He looks like Tim Curry. Raul Julia is the guy who played Gomez in the Christina Ricci, the Addams Family movies. Yeah, that guy. He does look a little like Tim Curry. So sorry, but that cast was crazy too. Ming-Na Wen, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Kylie Minogue.
Wasn't that like Ming-Na's first role?
It was 30 years ago. Yeah, it was like
it might have been her first role. I think it was.
But anyway, this cast is crazy, and watch this movie like just be a massive success for some reason, just because.
I hope
nothing makes sense.
Sometimes it's okay to just have fun. I think movies have gotten too serious.
If it's fun, then that's all this needs to be, and I agree.
Yeah. Our last story is something that's not fun, which is TikTok is launching a new app, and the current app is shutting down. This came out this week via multiple sources from TikTok. My response to this is that this is not good. For people that don't know, right now TikTok is owned by a company called ByteDance in China. The big drama was that China was running this app, and they didn't like that China had control over people's data or was collecting data, by the way, which any other site also collects data, so that irrelevant. And basically what they're saying is they're shutting down the app that runs currently as TikTok and is going to force users to download this other app. My understanding and my belief as a social media professional is that this is 100% a way to censor and monitor content that is going into TikTok. One of the biggest things that has come up with TikTok over the past few years, and especially the reason why politicians here in the US are very much against it, is that because it's owned by people in China, they don't have the ability to regulate it like they do Facebook or X or Instagram, which is also owned by Facebook, Meta, or any other app here in the US, which a lot of them were launched here in the US. We've heard stories from Mark Zuckerberg who says, hey, this administration came to me and said, you need to put the plug on this type of content. You need to monitor this content, throttle this content, make sure people aren't talking about it. They can't do that with TikTok, or they couldn't do it until recently when they were doing the whole bill where they tried to ban TikTok for like 3 days and then it came back. They've already started banning stuff and they've already started throttling stuff, which they do in other countries. They do it in China. They do it all over the place. So my understanding is that this new app is going to allow them to have more control over what people are posting on there, which is an issue for people that are posting messaging and issues that are against current administrations, politicians, just a big kind of impediment on free speech. While I don't agree with everyone's opinion about everything, which nobody does, I do agree with the right that you have to say it. But it also comes with consequences, which many people find out. That being said, this is not good. So when they say, hey, we're going to launch this new app and we're going to have control over it, it's going to make people that usually didn't have a voice now not have a voice again. That's my concern.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had thoughts about it.
Not really. I think the only possible good out of this is it will get rid of some of the mindless, unnecessary influencers out there who get invited to movie premieres for no reason and stuff. But
I mean, that Soups guy that we talked about months ago and about like how terrible he is, he was hosting the red carpet for Superman.
Are you kidding?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was like, wow, it's amazing to me that some people come out that are creators, influencers, podcasters, whatever, have done terrible, horrible things, said terrible, horrible things, and nobody gets held accountable for said things.
Yeah.
It's just, if you have a big audience, they don't care.
Yeah. No, not too many thoughts on this. I am not a TikToker. Any of the TikToking that happens from TRB is handled by Lacey.
I'm not either, to be honest. I'm not a TikToker either. It's just one of those things that, like, I believe everyone should be allowed to say whatever they want, and that there shouldn't be some type of censoring within reason, of course. No hate speech or anything like that. But I'm saying, like, if you have a differing opinion, go ahead and say it. But I think that there's been more and more impeding things people are saying.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah. Let's get to some trailers, though. How about that?
Let's do it.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
All right. We have 2 to talk about today. One is a clip, so we'll start with that. We talked about Superman is already out, off to the races, trying to scrounge up as much cash as it can at the box office before rival Marvel steps in on July 25th with the Fantastic Four. And we have this new clip that shows the Fantastic Four attempting to sit down for dinner, but everyone has these sort of things going on. Lacey, we saw the clip. It is the reveal of Sue Storm being pregnant and the reaction of Johnny Storm and the Thing to that. Has a light-hearted, familial feel to it, but I know you're not the biggest fan of the Fantastic Four, and you don't seem to be rooting super hard for this movie, but what do you think of the clip, and did it do anything for you to move the needle to get you in theaters to see this movie?
That's not fair. I would never root against something actively being like, I hope this thing sucks.
Oh, I didn't say it like that, did I? I didn't mean it like that.
It kind of sounded like that. I'm not rooting against it.
But you're not rooting for it.
I wouldn't say I'm just neutral. I'm not like not going, yay, Fantastic Four, I'm going to love this. I thought initially I would, but as I'm seeing more of it, like the trailers aren't that great. It doesn't look that good. Like it doesn't look as good as Superman looks to me. And this clip, to me, the chemistry is not there. Like they don't, the most kind of heartwarming thing of that whole clip is the Thing, which is funny because he's a rock man. But everybody else just, it feels like they're dialing it in a little bit. Like I got to see it within context of the movie, but it just, I don't know, I'm not getting anything from this cast. Whereas in comparison to the Superman cast, where they're doing all these social promotions, they're doing all these things together behind the scenes, the Full House intro, clips of them together, the chemistry they have, the photo shoots, all this other stuff. Like I can tell that they love being there and they love what they're doing. And I'm not getting that from this, the family movie, Fantastic Four. I think it looks good production wise. I think the costumes look good. I still have an issue with Sue's hair. We're not going to get into that. It's not relevant to the time period that she would have hair like that. I don't know. I just there's something weird going on with this movie, and I don't know if it's going to do that good. Like I don't think it's going to get people to the theater like a dinosaur will.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think the clip is good. I do agree with you that the chemistry feels forced by the dialogue in a way. And I almost don't want to say this, but because I liked him a lot in Stranger Things, but I kind of feel like maybe we rushed this kid into fame. And because I saw the Gladiator 2 on the plane back from, was it either from Japan or San Francisco? I think it was Japan. And Joseph Quinn, he was all right, but he wasn't like great. And I mean, the movie wasn't
go
that
from
great.
Chris Evans to Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. I'm sorry,
I'm
Chris
not-
Evans
I'm
was
not-
amazing.
I'm not the biggest Chris Evans fan either, to be honest. But I don't know. I feel like the kid was so good. And I say the kid, he's like 32 years old probably, but he played a high schooler. He was so good in Stranger Things, and he became so popular so quick, and everyone was rooting for him. And then all of a sudden, he got all these roles so fast. And I
He
just
did.
wonder if maybe he's not there yet, or maybe he isn't a big star, and that's okay. But all of a sudden, he's getting all these big roles in these massive, huge movies. He's the villain in a Gladiator movie from Ridley Scott, and now
And
he's
you
one of the Fantastic
wonder,
Four.
yeah, if
Was
conversations
it a
we've
hype
had
reactionary thing?
right, we've had conversations here on this show about Maya Hawke from Stranger Things as well, talking about how directors are approaching her about social following and what's trending and all these other things. Is this a casting decision based on, oh, he'll bring in the young audience because they love Stranger Things?
Yeah, I mean that's possible. Who's playing? Who's playing Sue Storm?
Vanessa Kirby.
Oh,
I
okay.
would say she's probably one of the lesser knowns, right? She's in Mission Impossible, but she's not a Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, she was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. Like she dips her toes into these franchises. It looks like.
Yeah, she's like
Um,
a side
but
character in movies.
to that point though, like the hype around Joseph Quinn was so big with Stranger Things. It was a few years ago, probably when they were casting this. But then you have Ebon Moss-Bachrach, who got all this hype with The Bear, and then he gets cast in this. And then Pedro Pascal with The Mandalorian, he's white hot, and then all of
And
a
The
sudden he gets
Last of
cast in
Us.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know that that's not a crazy thing. It's like, oh, a popular actor who's good at what they do, we're going to cast them. We were talking about that on TRB with Ryan Gosling and the potential of casting other big actors like David Cornsweet in Star Wars or something. But this almost feels like Marvel was like, all right, we know our plans for this is to sort of do a soft reboot for our last Avengers push. We gotta load this one up because we need butts in seats to make sure that this thing is going to be viable. It does have that little feeling to it, and I agree. I'm not sold on the chemistry of the four yet. The dialogue says it should be, but as I'm watching it on screen, Pedro feels a little cold. I'm
They
not
all
sold on
feel
Vanessa.
cold.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Vanessa Kirby, and Joseph Quinn is a little too much of the I'm the casual whatever man guy. It's I think The Thing came across the best, so I'm 100% with you on that. I think we're on the same page with that. So I don't know that this clip. I think I understand their intentions was we want to show how much this family cares for each other, and they're surrounding themselves around Sue Storm because she's gonna bring the next generation of this family in to the world. But I agree that this clip didn't do anything for me, and if anything, it may have made me ask some more questions about this because they've tried Fantastic Four twice, it didn't work twice, and I think part of that is it didn't. I didn't feel the chemistry from the bond of the four of them on either of those iterations, and I saw both. And I don't know that we're going to get it here. So is it a Fantastic Four problem? Is it where they haven't found the right recipe of the cast? And people will disagree. I'm sure the people who love the previous casts, and that's fine. But I don't know. I do want to see this. I don't know if I'll get in the theaters for it the way I was obviously going to be there and did for Superman. But I don't know about this clip. I don't know that this was the one that we'll see if they put out others, but I don't know if this was the one that puts it on the mark for me. But
Can we talk about that stupid poster they put out? Like, why is her butt facing the camera? I'm going to go ahead and say it. What's with Marvel making ladies face their booty to the camera? They did it with
Why do you
Black Widow.
think?
They do it all the time. I know. Okay, come on. I'm obviously
I know you know.
asking the question in jest because we know why. But then not only that, they clearly edited her butt. They clearly photoshopped her butt a little bit. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm just getting a vibe from this movie that it's just not it. It's not going to hit.
Well,
And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm getting a vibe. I'm just not getting the excitement for this movie that I've seen for other things. I think we still are in a time, and I know we talked about Superman at the beginning of this show, that people are picking and choosing what they want to watch and spend their time on. And I don't see people urgent to get back into Marvel movies right now. Whereas Superman, everybody's starting at the ground level with that. Kind of like Mandalorian season 1. Like everybody's starting fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Marvel, it's like this is the culmination of what? How many decades?
Yeah.
Like
15 years.
But I can tell you that I'm super hyped about this other trailer.
Okay. So I'll let you lead on this one because I didn't see all of the first season of Wednesday. So take it away. We have part 1 of season 2 arriving August 6th on Netflix. What do you think of Wednesday?
I am surprised that they're having it come out in August. I'm assuming because they're saving Stranger Things for the holiday season. So, well, they are. It's coming out Thanksgiving, so they have to spread them out a little bit to get people to stick around.
Yeah.
That's right, because we talked about the Stranger Things. They're doing Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and then New Year's. Insane.
Yeah, literally New Year's. Yeah.
I'm hyped for the show. I loved the first one. It was in recent years one of the few shows that I sat down and binged in like a weekend. Like I remember I was sitting there watching it and I was obsessed. I was like, this is such a good show. I think Jenna is just so good. And the idea that she has all these little things that she does, like she doesn't blink ever. And that's the way she's done the whole role. I think the lines are witty in this trailer. I'm surprised they're using Phantom of the Opera as the kind of under track.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it because I love Phantom of the Opera. I loved seeing Jonas, our guy Jonas.
Yes, Jonas
Chewbacca himself in the trailer. Good to see him on screen again, even if it's not for Star Wars. They really got to bring him back. Let's go. Make Solo 2 happen. Yeah, I think this looks great. I was surprised to see so many cameos. Like Tim Burton really called in the favors for this show, I think. Or people really liked it like I did. And I also believe, my understanding is that Jenna helped write this season compared to the first season. She had a play in some of the production choices and writing choices. So yeah, I'm all on board. 100% watching this. Can't wait.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I obviously have to finish season 1 if I want to watch this, but I like the trailer. I thought it was good. I thought the effects and the scenery and the shots
Bigger
looked-
budget.
yeah, it looks more real deal. It looks bigger. It looks more important. And I do like Jenna Ortega. So I'll give it a shot if I finish season 1. But I don't know that it's. I was never like when I was a kid. I was so obsessed with going to see the Addams Family movie, and I don't know if they just marketed that movie perfectly or whatever. But I remember being like 8 years old and begging my dad to go see the Addams Family movie because every kid was talking about it. They were talking about The Thing. They were talking about Cousin It. And it was all very
I
interesting.
love the way they do Thing with this show too. They have a puppet version, but then
that
they
is
also
good.
have a guy that
That is
stands
very
there in
good.
a green suit. It's really funny.
So I'm not the hugest Addams Family fan nowadays. So it's not as urgent for me to watch this sort of thing, but I am a big Tim Burton fan, so maybe I should just get after it. I do remember like the piranha scene in season 1 being like, wow, they're really just going for it. So maybe I give it another whirl. It's one of those shows I started and then stopped and then never picked up again. You ever do that? You're just like, there's no reason why I stopped. It happened.
Gwendolyn Christie's in it. You got to finish it up.
Oh man, maybe I do have to finish it on then. But anyway, it does look good. I'm pumped for you. Kathleen also, she was a big fan of season 1 too. So I'll check it out. But I think this is a really good trailer. I think this is going to be another no-brainer hit for the big juggernaut that is Netflix. But that's it for trailers this week. A little light on that. But let's get into a dose of what we've been watching.
We can never leave the house, and would just probably sit around all weekend and watch TV.
Go on.
All right. I know you've been doing a lot of gardening and stuff, so you're probably not watching TV.
I've been
and
watching
stuff.
a lot of Bluey. A lot of Bluey.
So nothing has changed.
And listening Bluey.
My
Planning
kids too.
parties for Bluey in the fall. Because right now Amazon Day is going on, which, by the way, interestingly enough, because it's pop culture related, Amazon's having their Prime Day this week, or this past week, and they saw a drop in the first day of compared years, 41% in sales.
Tariffs?
Drop. Who knows? But 41% drop year over year, which is insane. I didn't see that many deals on there, to be honest. I got a couple things here and there, nothing crazy. Got like sunblock vitamins.
Was the Bezos wedding not open bar then because of that?
I guess so. The $500 million. So many people could be saved with that amount of money and helped. And I just
wasn't DiCaprio there with like a hat on to cover his face that he was there or some crap?
Your girl Sydney Sweeny was there too, so they're all there.
Yeah, but she probably didn't realize what it was. Like she.
Have you watched Bluey yet? Have we?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
What episodes have you watched?
The best ones, all the best ones.
Are you lying?
No, I'll just say no. I don't sit down and just.
You
watch
keep
with
saying
my
this,
kids.
but I'm asking: have you sat and watched?
I'm getting there. So both my kids, when they go to bed, we let them watch a little Bluey, and they both watch it separately, but they're watching it.
That before bed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bluey. Don't worry about
that gets my daughter so hyped up. I don't let her watch it after a certain.
It makes them happy, and I think that like. If they're happy and they're in bed, they're like, this is where I'm supposed to be, so I'm going to go to sleep instead of driving my dad absolutely crazy.
Good for you. Everybody does it differently. I'm not criticizing at all. I'm just surprised because my daughter gets like literally running around the house hyped.
Well, yeah, I check in and I watch some scenes, then I duck out, and I watched, the last one I saw was the dad was playing this game with the kids where he like freezes. And then they would unfreeze him. And Daisy, so I was saying goodnight to Daisy, and she started doing that to me. So I started freezing and then unfreezing. So we had some fun with that. But yeah, they love it.
Is that the magical xylophone?
Yeah, that was it. That's
xylophone. Like episode 1. You're like episode 1. Season 1.
Well, we're looping this thing.
So. We're looping it, yeah. Daisy has been obsessed with this episode called Pizza Girls. It's in season 3. Which, by the way, Amazon, if any parents out there are listening, has Bluey on sale right now for half off DVD, Blu-rays, DVDs.
I think you have a share in Bluey or something.
I should have a share in Bluey because I love it. Anyway, she's obsessed with this episode called Pizza Girls. And they play this song when Muffin drives her car, and it has a kazoo in it. And it's like this very obnoxious over the top little kid song. And my Daisy is currently obsessed with it. And as soon as it comes on, she's got to run around the house being like, "Take it easy, Muffin. Don't go, ah." And then she starts screaming and carrying on. I was going to say the other episode that butts up right next to that episode is called Fairy Tale, which is a story of how Bandit, the father, meets the mom back in the 80s. And I thought that episode was funny because every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is funny. He's like, we go back in this time called the 80s. And then he talks about how his mom was mean and like all this other stuff. But anyway.
These are some old dogs, huh?
That's what I said. So I'm glad you brought that up. So today I had a conversation with Matt about it, and Matt was like, I don't care. I was like, no, listen, if they're in the 80s and they're like 8 to 10 years old in the 80s, that means what? Now they're like 50.
Yeah.
So either this show took place in the 2000s, 2010s.
Even then, that's an old dog.
That's what I'm saying. It's not adding up for me.
But also, it's a cartoon, and also it could be like The Simpsons, where they go through time just like we do with current events, but they don't age. So it's like, you know what I mean?
No, this shows Bandit when he's little. He's with his brothers on vacation, and the whole story is that like he's mean to his little brother, who's Stripe, who's bigger than him once they get older, and he gets jinxed by his older brother Rad, and then he can't talk, and it teaches the girls like, oh, you know, you got to be nice to everybody because it's going to come back to get you, kind of cursing, jinxing and stuff. And then he gets released from the curse because he dropped his hat on the ground and it has his name in it, and their mom picks it up when she's little, and she meets him at like a caravan park.
Maybe it's some magic. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm glad you brought that up because I was like, how old are these dogs? That was the point of that whole story.
Some old dogs.
I'm going to the Bluey premiere in 2027. It's happening. I don't know how I'm getting there. You heard it here first. I know so much lore. I will take on anybody in trivia.
All right.
Yeah, it's happening. Oh, look, right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We have a Bluey figure. I don't know where we got it from. Might have been you, for all I know. But it does like hide and seek or whatever.
No, but that's a really cute game, and it's on my want list. I have all the Beanie Babies. I have Bluey, Bingo. We got Chili from Stu Leonard's, and then recently I found Bandit at Big Y. So now I have the full family. Daisy's very happy about it. But yeah, that's what I've been watching, and it makes me really happy. And if you're looking for something lovely to listen to like do work, the Bluey soundtrack's great.
All right. Well, now that we lost all the men listening to the podcast,
why would they? Everybody. It's not like people don't know of this show. Like, there are adults that like this show. It's not just a kid show.
No, I'm kidding. Although, like, David Probus is probably listening, like, oh, we're at the Bluey part of the show. All right, that's it. See you on Thursday, TRB. No, Bluey is great. My kids love it, and I like that it's wholesome, so I'm all about it.
It's
did
funny.
you have anything else you've been watching, or
The Huge, Mr. Rogers,
yeah,
Thomas the Tank Engine,
right on.
Bluey on repeat, and then Frozen in there once in a while. On 4th of July, a bunch of little girls were at the house playing with Daisy, and they were like, "Can we watch Frozen?" And I was like, "I don't care, sure." And so Frozen was on. They were all sitting there, and they gathered all of Daisy's toys, and we're all sitting on the couch with every Frozen item we own, watching Frozen.
All right,
America.
Yeah. Happy 4th. All right. Well, well, Superman, of course, is what I watched. And I'll just add, like, hopefully there's a spoiler review from me out on the channel now, but the thing I'll add from a non-spoiler perspective is just go see this movie. Like, I took my 6-year-old, he got a little scared and a little sad in a couple spots, but he really did enjoy it. I think he was able to really use his imagination, and he started asking me questions about parts of the movie that were happening. I was like, wow, he's really dialing in. This is amazing. And he was
talking during the movie.
Well, he would be like, if he was like curious or he was like scared, he'd be like, Dad, is he okay? Is that, that type of stuff. That's what kids do.
Oh, okay.
You'll see. But you can tell he was really like awed and inspired by like Superman, and I think the way like the way the world is today, it's like we could definitely use a Superman, and this movie does deliver a strong message of hope and a faith in humanity, and that the person who wants to be human more than anything isn't. So he lives his life by being as human as possible for humans. And it's just a really strong message. And I think I felt like I wanted to be a better person walking out of the theater. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
42. So I
Mm-hmm.
hope the way I feel is also how kids feel, and kids of informative years, because movies are movies, and I get that, but they also can really be impactful, especially for kids. So I definitely recommend Superman for that reason. Um, and I also watched a lot of, not all of, the Back to the Beginning final Black Sabbath concert that took place in England. I know a lot of people are talking about Oasis returning, but this concert raised over $200 million for charities, including Parkinson's and impoverished youth. And you had all these incredible bands over the course of history playing covers of Black Sabbath to pay tribute to Ozzy and Geezer, Bill Ward, and Tony Iommi. And those four guys started that band in 1968. It's 57 years ago. And the four of them were on stage together playing Black Sabbath songs. It's unbelievable. Then you had 77-year-old Steven Tyler from Aerosmith crushing a cover of Led Zeppelin, hitting all the notes. Like, it's 77 years old, this guy. And then you have Ozzy rolls up. He is fighting Parkinson's. His back is screwed up from a bad surgery, and that's the reason he's sitting. It's not because of the Parkinson's. The Parkinson's doesn't help, but he said it's his neck and his
I didn't
back.
know he had Parkinson's.
Yeah, he's had it for like 7
Unfortunately.
years. So this was his final show, and Sharon announced that. So it was really weird watching Ozzy play his last show ever, because Ozzy Osbourne's sort of one of those figures to me that you feel like is going to be around forever, because he just lived this crazy life, and he just seemed like the guy would never die. And he's still here, and he's with it. He's completely, he's singing his songs, and he did his best. But there were some moments that got me a little emotional. Like he sang "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and you could tell he was getting a little choked up, because the song is about Sharon, and it was about how he was in a really low part of his life, addicted to drugs. And "Mama, I'm Coming Home" isn't about coming home from the tour. It's "Mama, I'm coming home to you to get back to who I am," because they went through some really tumultuous, dark shit together. And the fact that they stuck by each other's side after all these years, and she saved his life in so many ways, and what he's done for her, it's just, it is a pretty amazing love story for two people on the zanier side of the world in the music industry. But with all that said, hearing him perform "Mama, I'm Coming Home" and getting choked up, like, and you see the crowd, and there's a young kids crying, but then there's older people crying, and it's just amazing what music can do. And you and I keep talking about AI, and like now they're doing AI music, and it's just destroying the arts. And you and I hammer that home without any reservation. And seeing Ozzy at 76 singing without a backing track, without auto tune, without support, messing up, and getting choked up, but also missing some notes. And then you see Zakk Wylde, who's has been his guitar player for like 35 years after Randy Rhoads died, seeing that and then coming in to do some low backups for him. Like, it's just, that's human. Like, that's a moment. And all these people watching Ozzy, singing along, knowing it. You're not watching prime Ozzy Osbourne, but you're watching the final time, and he's still giving it his all. It's a really powerful thing to see, because, I'm 42, and I've been going through some existential stuff where you're like, man, what is the next half like, or whatever. And like, am I too old for this or too old for that? And then you see Ozzy Osbourne get up there with Parkinson's and a destroyed back and neck at 76, singing these songs for 2 sets. It was so incredible to see, and seeing how he impacted so many people, and that they raised all this money, and all these amazing bands. Metallica was there, Pantera. It was just this just absolutely amazing concert. And for anyone who likes rock, classic rock, heavy metal, hard rock, rock history, if you haven't checked that concert out, check out some of these performances. Even some bands like Tool, who never allow people to record them, were fully recorded with their set. It was just a really, really awesome event. So I recommend people check that out, especially if you like that type of music. But it's just an amazing amazing event. It's incredible. And that's it, really. I started watching Thunderbolts, but I didn't get to finish it. I will finish that and let you know my thoughts on that. But that's it for me. So, and that's it for the show. So, we want to thank everybody for listening and watching and getting nerdy with us as always. I had a good time, Lacey. These episodes always fly by because we have so many different topics to get into. So
We do.
big shout out to our patrons. Nerdy and Nice would not exist without your support. I say it all the time, but it's absolutely true. So I know things are crazy. I know the economy is kind of bananas. But if you're able to and you want to support small podcasts that are trying to do the thing and grow and achieve our dreams of maybe doing this full time, support us. Patreon.com/TRB podcast. You can do that starting at $5. We have exclusive episodes there of the podcasts, including Nerdy Nice and TRB. We have live streams. We have a Discord server, a lot of awesome stuff. So please check it out if you can. Patreon.com/TRB podcast. Shout out to our movie star generals, Carmelo, John Risi, Jetta Rosewater, Frank Grande, Chris Morales, Mike Ramori, Brendan McLaughlin, Sneaky Zebra, Dave Hornack, Colin Cormier, Stephen Garrow, Sachi, and Darth Snips, and our silver screen Spice Runners, David Probus, Neil Shah, Kendall Gelner, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, THEFORTWORTHIAN, and Brian Smith. And make sure you're following Nerdy and Nice on Nerdy and Nice Pod on social media, and of course on the audio platform. Subscribe free, Apple, Spotify, wherever you would like. And then, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/@TRB podcasts, you'll find the videos for TRB and Nerdy and Nice. Lacey, where can people hit you up? A lot of stuff they can talk to you about, give their thoughts on.
People can find me on social media at Lacey Gilleran and on TikTok until they change it at It's Lacey Gilleran.
Are you going to stick with that on the new one? Are you going to get the new one?
I don't know. I'll decide when the time comes.
You're gonna get it. But I wonder if you're going to go with the It's Lacey Gilleran thing or not. We'll find out.
We'll see if they give me my other account back.
Yeah. Yep. For me, Johnny Hoey on Blue Sky and Twitter X. We'll see if that name sticks. Their CEO just quit, so who knows? Elon's going rogue, so who knows what's going on right now?
I don't know. Guys, just like pop culture, the world seems to be pivoting every day. So all I can say to the people listening is take time for yourself, step away from the screen, enjoy the outdoors and the people you love.
Yeah. And be like Mr. Rogers.
And Bluey.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers really is the best, by the way. Like literally every episode I watch of his, I'm like, you are just the most wholesome, genuine, wonderful human being. And I think that if anything ever came out about him, it would break me.
That
would be my breaking point.
That'd be the one person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
That's yeah. I agree.
It would
But
kill
anyway, I know it's over. If Mr. Rogers was bad,
there's no coming back.
We have no shot. Even Superman would be like, I'm going back to Krypton. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right. Thank you all so much. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. We hope you have a great week. We hope you're doing well out there. Star Wars fans, we'll see you Thursday, and we'll see you next week on Nerdy and Nice as always. So until next time, we'll see you around, kids.